One of the most important facets of any business is customer service. In business, you are not only selling a product or a service, but an experience. Providing exceptional customer service and developing real relationships with your clients means increased sales, retain customers, new customers via word of mouth, and a positive reputation. You're listening to the Focus on Customer Experience podcast. Benjamin Del Grosso gives you the ins and outs of one of the most underlooked aspects in business today. Improve your customer service and watch your business skyrocket.
2, 1.
Now, here's your host, Benjamin Del Grosso.
Today we got Bryce McKinley. Bryce runs REI Results Academy, wrote a book, The 5-Hour Flip, and is, I don't know, I guess we could call him one of the kings of real estate in Texas, right? So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, Bryce McKinley.
I don't know if I would say I'm a king, but I've definitely been blessed with the ability to figure out some really cool things, man. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bryce McKinley. I'm an international keynote speaker, 6-time international best-selling author. But first and foremost, I'm a husband and a dad and serial entrepreneur. I've been up and down and all around. And I don't claim to know it all, Ben, but I know what it takes. So I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I could tell you're very active on Facebook. You're always trying to inspire people. Watching some of your videos that you're always doing, and even like yesterday, you said, "What can I remove so I can make my next move?" I thought that was pretty cool because you're just trying to inspire people. You're trying to get people thinking, trying to get people to take action.
Yeah. That's what it boils down to, man. I mean, if you're not moving, you're sitting still. And if you're sitting still, you're growing mold, man. You're getting old, you're growing old, and you're growing mold. So you got to keep moving. You got to keep pushing,
So, I mean, just trying to think here, what is something, like what's been your most memorable experience as a customer? Like if you've gone in and you've bought something or had an experience, there's something that really sticks out to you as something that blew you away.
For me, I'm a consummate sales professional. So I have to, I tend to evaluate the staff a little bit differently. I tend to want to be sold. And I think one of the most memorable experiences as a customer was probably just going through the experience of like buying a vehicle and measuring the different levels of experience that different salesmen have. I'll never forget the very first new car experience that I had. I remember going to the dealership with my dad and I think I was 15, and I remember going to the dealership, and the salesman, while he was friends of my dad's, he treated us like he was his best friend. And not only did he know his product, but he didn't talk about the product and the features and benefits as much as he talked about me and got to know me, right? They say if you're more interested versus interesting, that you have much better conversations. And that was the experience that really sticks out at me. As my first new car that I bought at 15, my dad co-signed, and the salesman just walked me through an experience where he got to know me. He spent the time understanding my needs, my wants, my current reality versus my desired reality, and then tailored his presentation around that, So
Yeah,
that
no,
would have to be it.
it makes sense. I mean, because I know the first time you and I talked, my friend Benjamin Austin connected us. He's like, "You got to get Bryce on the show. He's awesome." Right. And we talked, and the first thing you said to me was, "Tell me about Ben. What makes Ben?" And it was like, "Oh, cool." And you were just genuinely interested in, who I am, what I do, what got me to where I am today, kind of thing. Right. And I thought that was awesome. It was just the way we're trying to connect, trying to talk, trying to get to know people, right? And you are genuinely interested, which, that shows you for your character,
I appreciate that.
right? So,
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I practice what I preach, and when people have said that, I am one of the best sales trainers and coaches in the world, don't just take my word for it. It's because I practice what I preach, and I genuinely want to know who you are and what makes you tick, because that's the only way that I can truly help you. And I think that that's really what makes a memorable experience, because one thing that us humans have, and whether it's a fault or not, is we love to talk about ourselves. You ever have been in a conversation with someone and they're like, oh yeah, I do that and I do this and I do this. And it's like, it's almost overwhelming, right?
I would say early on in a lot of my friendships, I would talk way too much about myself. And then I genuinely had zero interest in them. And then I kind of realized, hey, you know what? It's got to be like an even Steven or whatever, right? I need to genuinely be interested in what they're doing, and in order for us to be friends, and they need to genuinely be interested in myself as well. And once I started realizing that, if I had no interest in them, then obviously I probably shouldn't be friends with these people, right? But once you start realizing that, then you start having some real good friendships. You start building on it. Yeah, and to me, that's gold. That's awesome, right? That's how you build long-term relationships, long-term friendships. That's like even being in a networking group that I'm in right now. A lot of times I'm getting people on the podcast. I'm getting to learn about them. And when you and I had the pre-interview, someone within my networking group was looking for commercial real estate in Texas. And I was like, hey man, I'm going to recommend Bryce McKinley. Right. And I'm sure he reached out. Hopefully he got the information he needed. And realistically, that's all because I got to know you, and I got to know who you are, what you do. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's the network, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they say your net worth is your network, and a lot of times I could spend hours talking about that. That's not the purpose of this call.
It's all good, man. You know what? I keep it open, right? So, but let's go. When you look around at the world today, what has stood out to you as the biggest change in how we interact as customers, as human beings?
I think that there's two major shifts that I've seen, and that is this. One, things have went so technologically advanced that people are more skeptical. And what I mean by that is there's so much data, right? We're data driven. We're a data driven culture, this human nature. We want to know, like, the thing, does it solve this? Does it amplify this? Does it benefit this? And I think that one of the biggest changes in how our customer interactions work is we've just subsided with a customer experience, and we've kind of subsided to that's just the way that it is, meaning, like, if they're not nice to us, well, we just need to accept it because there's someone else that they would rather deal with, and we really want this product or service, right? And so, when you think of like automotive sales, for example, like, most car salesmen nowadays aren't even commissioned salesmen. They're paid a small salary. The guy at the top is making all the money because the guy at the bottom, the car salesman, doesn't understand how the dealership is structured. And the customer thinks that they're winning because there's no negotiating necessary. In reality, if they only knew, like, there was a lot of wiggle room, right? But because society as a customer is like, I don't want to negotiate, I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of. It's like, well, if you just understood business, or you understood profits and loss margins, right? And things of that nature, like, you would actually create a better relationship with the person that you worked with versus the guy that's going to get paid the same whether he makes a friend with you or not.
Yeah, no.
You ever go into an Old Navy or a McDonald's and wonder why they're not as nice as they were 10 years ago? is because they don't care about you.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
they're going to get paid the same whether you take their product or service or not.
That'd be
And
like
that's the problem.
expecting Amazon to have a relationship with Amazon. You're talking to a
Exactly.
robot.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, right? I mean, there's a lot of the dealerships have gone to this like salary and like a small commission, and a lot of them, they're not building that culture of developing that relationship, right? Like, and that's what you strive to do. You strive to build that relationship with the client, right? That's what makes you you, and that to me is what makes you unique. And I feel like that's a lost art. We're turning into this whole transactional experience now, where it's all about the transaction, and we're not getting to know each other anymore. And it is different, And people have this thinking that Amazon's the cheapest price, but Amazon isn't the cheapest price. But we're like programmed into thinking it is.
Because it's convenient.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
need to talk to
convenient.
anybody. I can just grab the thing. It's like,
I can click buy it now and it'll be at my doorstep tomorrow. But I had someone on the podcast the other day that told me they sell a $2.50 coffee and someone pays $6 to get it delivered to their door because they don't want to go pick up a $2.50 coffee. I'm going, what?
yeah.
That's crazy.
So right now, me scenario, and we wonder why there's a 1% versus a 99%. The 99% are thinking they're taking advantage of convenience. In reality, they're separating that divide even further because of their own selfish, egotistical manners.
So, what is one thing you do or have done to provide a positive experience?
Gosh, that's a little broad. That's a broad question. Let
I
me think.
mean, you
No,
you
I
ex-
don't mean it in a negative way.
oh no, it's all good.
For me, unlike a lot of people in business, one of my weaknesses is and has always been relationships because I'm super high visionary. I see things from 50,000 foot and I keep moving above and hovering over them. And I think that's helped me be, uber successful. And at the same time, it hasn't always created the greatest relationships long term with like my clients or whatever. But at the same time, I think that, if those that lean in and see the, genuine side of me, right? It's like, I want to not only be their friend, but I want to see people succeed. And so I think as far as like a positive experience goes, I mean, heck, my company's name is REI Results, right? Real Estate Investment Results. For those that are serious about working with me, I've had 100% success rate in our coaching and mentoring program, not because I have the greatest checks and balances, but because I give people the simple tools to get results faster and maintain and build a business, right? So the one thing that I've done is I've really simplified the structure of an entrepreneur's journey. I mean, no matter if you're selling widgets, cars, roofs, siding, windows, or houses like real estate, like myself, there's really only a few steps that happen every single time. And when people grasp that really quick, they get tremendous results. Unlike a lot of the other real estate coaches or mentors that have this like, very generic approach and it all feels warm and fuzzy. Sometimes I'm a little rough around the edges and I give it to you straight and tell you to get your butt in gear. Just go do the thing that gets results. And I think that that's probably the most positive experience somebody can get when they don't make it personal and they look at it that it's just business. I'm just trying to help you do the thing that you want to do, and that's be successful. So when I think of a positive experience, it's like, yes, I get to know, like in our pre-call that you experience, like, man, I love you, bro. I want to make sure that we're a good fit, right? And then when I'm like, okay, I see where your heart is. Let's do this. I'm going to pour as much as I can into your audience and hopefully get them to shift. I don't believe in mindset, man. I believe in a mind shift. And if you can always be shifting and always be open to the other side of the coin, well, then you can live is like there's no expectations. There's always another explanation. And when you can live like that, you can have your own experience to your desired reality,
Yeah.
So
I think what you're saying though is, yeah, like maybe you're not all fluffy and maybe you're rough around the edges, I think is what you're kind of saying. You might be a little bit more, is it the word brash or whatever with people? But at the same time, sometimes people need that kick in the ass,
yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
I'm not brash from a place of like rude or short or disrespectful. I'm brash from a position of like, you're telling me that you don't think you can do it. Well, what do you think it's going to take? Well, then go do that.
Yeah, because
You
really
know,
that's what it is. You just got to do it. And that's what a lot of people, I've had people when I started doing YouTube videos, and they said, "Oh, you should do some more practice and be more polished." Well, no, like you just got to do it. And then once you start doing it, you build the confidence and you continuously get better. I look back at some of my first YouTube videos and I'm like, man, these are bad. But I don't know what it is. One of them's got 1,400 views now. And I'm like, okay, well, I did something right on that video, right? But the thing is you just, once you take action, you start building up that confidence, you start getting better and better and better at it. And that's the thing. That's the difference is you can either not take action and keep talking about how you need to get better at something before you do it, or you can just take action, do it, and just fumble into learning it and getting better. Right.
yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I look back at my live streams. I mean, I wear a backwards hat for a reason because I do a live stream every day or two. And I look back and it's like, God, I was fat that year. Or, geez, like spit it out already, Bryce. Come on, Coach Sharpen. I give myself a hard time. And I look back though, and that's I think one of the big differences, Ben, that, somebody that's successful versus somebody that hasn't, is the person that's had success, they're not comparing themselves to anybody else. Like, I've been hired by some of the greatest minds in the world to teach them how to speak better from stage, for example. But as a speaker and as a coach, like, I don't compare myself to Tony Robbins, or I don't compare myself to Les Brown or Dr. Eric Thomas, right? Those guys have hired me, and I've worked and done events with them side by side as the co-keynote. So that doesn't make them any better than me. They've done it a little longer than me. But what I get to look at, and why I think that people like us that have success, whether it's mild, medium, or, great success, is that we get to look back and see, wow, how far have I come? And be proud of that moment, not prideful, but proud of the steps and growth that we've had. And that helps build that confidence that pushes you to that next level.
Yeah, it's the transformation.
Right.
And it's the continuous improvement of learning from every single step in the journey. A lot of people will continuously make the same mistake over and over again and never improve. But I look back at everything and go, man, what can I do better from that? Or, hey, look, man, that Bryce guy is doing these daily videos. Maybe I should start doing that and inspiring people, And I keep looking at other people and seeing, hey, what can I do better to continuously improve myself? What is something that somebody else is doing to inspire me? And to me, it's all about that transformation. What's going to continuously improve yourself every single day?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So,
I once said my video I'm going to do today is actually about this topic right here. And that is this: you don't go to opportunity, you grow to opportunity. That's fire. I'm about to do a live stream as soon as we get off of this. You don't go to opportunity, you grow to opportunity, because the next opportunity is just merely, the world and opportunities that are now available to what you can manage and or handle. And sometimes it may feel overwhelming. Sometimes it may not work out the best way, but that moment is exactly what you're ready for, and I believe that God has got us all on this earth for a reason and a purpose. And so each and every step along the way is literally a part of his plan And while it may seem overwhelming, I mean, there's a valley between every mountaintop anyways. So just keep walking, just keep taking steps.
It's crazy. So the other day, I told the rep that the business has slowed down a little bit the last week and a half and whatever. And then I put in this big order the next day, and he goes, "I thought you said business was slow." And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, why are you making a big order?" And I go, "Dude, I'm not a short-term thinker. Just because I'm having a slow week doesn't mean that I can't plan for the next 3 months." And he goes, "Yeah, but okay, you confused me." I'm like, "Well, you like," I said, "That's a problem. Just because you're having a slow week doesn't mean you go, oh, okay, I'm not going to order any product." Or no, you can't think about the next week. You got to think long term. You got to look at what's 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Where do you want the business to be a year from now? And that's the thing. And he's like, "Awesome." Right? Like, dude, I just gave you money. Like, you know?
And I think that's one of the big differences too, the businesses that succeed and the businesses that fail. You know, the old saying, when the times are tough, the tough get going. It's like, so times are tough and you're going to pull back on your marketing. You don't think that everybody else is feeling the same way? That's when you should be stepping it up and readjusting and adding more fuel to that flame that you have at least existing now. You know?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I looked at it like we're slow, and usually every Sunday I'm packed. I'm busy, 4 or 5 jobs, right? This Sunday I had nothing. And I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? And I'm like, well, good thing I got the whiteboard. So I made YouTube videos. I made a YouTube intro video. I made a whole bunch of changes to SEO on the website. I, tweaked a couple blogs, changed a couple different things. And, most people, when I think about when I was growing up, working in a car audio shop back in the day, and it'd be like, oh, it's dead. What are we going to do? Oh, whatever. Cruise the internet, I guess. I don't know. Hang out, do nothing. Man, it's so boring. Hey, let someone go on a coffee run, and you do nothing. And I look at all that wasted time of stuff like we could have been doing, could have been investing in the company then. And now I'm in the driver's seat and I'm in control. So I have to make sure to take action, because if I just stand around and do that, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not moving forward. So yeah, it's awesome. So I know this next question, is there a book you've read that has influenced your life? And I remember when we chatted in our pre-interview, you had 3 books.
I don't remember what books that I told you, but I'm going to,
but
I'll tell you this. The number one book that has absolutely been the most influential in my life is the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, whether you adhere to the principles or religion or doctrine, nobody can deny that the Bible has been, is, and always will be the number one best-selling book. I mean, it's a guide on family values, personal relationships, business, investing, love, joy, peace, like all the things that people want, like how to travel. Yeah, you could actually read the Bible and it will show you what is your best options and how to travel, right? It says to go 2 by 2, like, because a man alone, a threefold cord is stronger than anything alone, right? Like, it tells you to travel with friends. Like, come on now,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like, don't make me preach. The Bible is hands down the most influential book. Another book that has really changed my life would be the book called Multipliers by Liz Wiseman. It's all about how you manage and see and understand people in and around your organization and in your life. And, I'm going to give you 4. Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Teach you how to set expectations and set boundaries so you don't get taken advantage of, or when you do, what you learn from it, right? And then last, Expert Secrets and .com Secrets by my friend Russell Brunson. So
yeah, I know Benjamin Austin likes Russell Brunson. He's like, you got to get on Russell Brunson. Always telling me I got to get on there. And then as soon as he said that to me over the phone, all his ads show up on my Facebook now.
Oh, of course.
They're monitoring us.
Ben, if you're interested, I mean, he is a personal friend of mine, so I'd love to connect you with it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Obviously, I'm just looking to just continuously grow and get better. And you were talking about the Bible, and I was going to say for many years next to my on my dresser side table used to be I think it's called footprints.
Footprints, yeah.
Yeah, where it was talking all about how at certain times there would only be one set of footsteps, and that was the time when I would carry you. And I remember reading that, and it used to be very clear in my head for many years. But so many people reference the Bible. There's so many good stories that can be used in business and everything. So it's very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
So, any final thoughts? Any final words of wisdom for the viewers?
Words of wisdom for the viewers. Gosh, you know, I'll say this: the most effective person in a room or in an organization is not always the genius, but it's always the genius maker. And so I look at life, I look at relationships kind of like a funnel. You know, if you've ever changed the oil on a car or baked something, you know what a funnel looks like, right?
Yeah.
And in order for your funnel to be full, that means that it has to be like clogged up. Well, life is very similar to that. Like when we clog up our funnel, the only way for you to grow or learn or do something else or move to another point, take in more data, make more relationships, you have to let that plug out. You have to release it. And so, very similar to that live stream that you mentioned, sometimes you have to make some removals to make some moves. And if you can live life as if there's always another explanation, you always have an opportunity to grow and see the other side of the coin. You know, I mean, Ben, think about it this way: your business, dash cam specialist, right? Like, what is one of the main reasons why people put dash cams in? So that they can get the facts, right? This is exactly what happened. But if we don't have your service and your product in our car, we're going to depend, just like everything else in life, on 2 or 3 or 4 other experiences to make an educated decision, right? If there's a car accident and the police show up, well, they ask all the witnesses and they kind of make an educated guess as to what happened because they weren't there, but they're taking different perspectives. So if we live life as if there's always another explanation, well, when you think that the sky is blue and so thinks that it's turquoise, why is that? Are they colorblind? Is it because of the angle in which they're viewing that sky? Or maybe it's the books in your business or the customer experience that your sales rep said that they were just a butthole, and you talk to the customer and it's like, no, they thought that the sales rep was a butthole. And wait, I think y'all just didn't communicate well enough and you both had the best intentions, right? So when we can look at life as if there's always another explanation, we have an opportunity to grow. And if we're growing, we're going.
Yeah, I mean, I actually just yesterday I was telling a client, he goes, somebody hit me while parked. So, you know, this insurance company will just cover me. It's not my fault. And I go, the insurance company is going to look at it as though maybe you hit something, right? Yeah. And you just don't want to admit it and you just want them to cover it. And he goes, well, no, but I didn't. I'm like, I understand that you didn't, but if you had a dash camera, you could have proved otherwise. And he goes, yeah, but I don't get it. And I'm like, I know you don't get it, but this is how insurance companies look at it. And that's the problem. They might look at it and go, oh, we believe you because of how it was hit and whatever in this trajectory, but you don't know without video evidence. So
one of my buddies in my small group at church is a fraud adjuster in an insurance agency. And I learned stuff just last night. Like, holy cow, y'all are always looking at the other side of the coin because you're not trying to pay. You're taking all my money all year round, but you're not willing to pay because you're trying to find every reason not to. I mean, come on now. Come on.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's just the world today, right? But I mean, this is awesome having you on, Bryce. Really appreciate you giving us our time, and hopefully one of these days I get down to Texas, we'll meet in person, share a coffee.
Make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's listening and anything that I said resonates with you, like, make sure you reach out. My name is Bryce McKinley. If you're viewing this, you can see my name right down here at the bottom. If you're interested in real estate, please, by all means, I'd love to help you. I was homeless 10 years ago, and I've built $100 million organization, and have been blessed to only live off of a fraction of that and give the rest away. And so I'd love to show you what that looks like. I'd be honored to. So thank you for having me, Ben.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Focus on Customer Experience podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. For more information or to connect with Ben, check out Benjamin Del Grosso on LinkedIn, at Safe Drive Solutions on Instagram, or www.safedrivesolutions.ca online. We'll see you next time.